Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Ted, and I'm bringing you guys a rather long gameplay. This is going to be about an 8.5 minute long gameplay, and just kind of sit back, relax, and I hope you learn something new from this commentary. So I want to talk about a lot of the tips and tricks for Call of Duty. I know everyone seems to want to do this, but it seems that the channels have been cutting down on this recently. A lot of the tip and tricks channels have now been kind of turned into just overall commentaries, and I do like that, but I feel like I need to bring back some more tips and tricks. So let's get into it, guys. Call of Duty, there's a million different ways that you can take an approach to a game, and I think there's a lot of different aspects you need to look at, but I'm going to go over some of the basics, some of the more important ones, and touch base very quickly on a lot of different tips that can hopefully help you guys out. One thing I'll note about this gameplay is it's a 56 gun-only kill streak, and I didn't even have very many pro perks. You'll see here I'm like level 20 in this gameplay. I think this is my first game after unlocking Specialist bonus, so that's that. So I didn't have the massive advantages that I should have had. I didn't have a lot of the pro perks, but I still did very, very well, and let's touch base on why. So first off, I get asked endlessly, Ted, what sensitivity do you play on? There's no best sensitivity. However, I could say that the universal sensitivity that I consider my personal favorite is 6. And this is for PS3 and for Xbox 360. I've played on both consoles. I personally only own an Xbox 360, but I have played on PS3 a little bit, and it doesn't seem to make too much of a difference for PC. I'm really not sure. I've never played PC gaming before. So for you, just kind of figure out on your own. I'd assume it might still be 6 as well, though. Here's the thing, guys. The lower sensitivity you have, the better your aim will be. So I've played on 2 sensitivity. I actually stuck with 2 sensitivity for about a month one time, and it was my best aiming ever. I literally could not miss a shot. The only big problem I had is that if I knew someone was in a corner, I just physically couldn't turn around to see them fast enough. You turn so slowly. However, if you play very cautiously, like say you're more of a camper, I'm not going to call anyone out in this game. If you're a camper and you know you're a camper, a lower sensitivity is very, very beneficial because you don't have to turn nearly as much. Generally, you've got your back to a corner, and you don't got to turn nearly as much for that type of gameplay. Maybe a 2 or 3 sensitivity would be better for you. For sniping, I suggest higher sensitivity. When I snipe, I use an 8 sensitivity because since you only got one bullet at a time, you want to make sure that bullet's very, very precise, and you can turn very quickly to get that bullet on target. So for me personally, assault rifle with SMGs 6 sensitivity, and for sniper rifles or maybe even light machine guns a little bit higher. It's all up to you. It's personal preference personally, but I find that 6 is the best sensitivity. And let's touch base on checking your corners. That's another big thing that I don't often see people do. Whenever I walk inside a room, inside Call of Duty, sometimes I'll know where the spawns are, and I'll just know very well. I'm very confident when I walk inside a room whether I know what's going to be happening in there. But it's always good to check your corners. Just take a quick look left, quick look right. With Assassin in this game and all those stealth perks, it's sometimes hard to know where people are at. But you'll see whenever I enter a room, I always check right in front of me, and then I'll also look to my left or to my right to make sure that there's no one inside that room with me. And if you have a lower sensitivity, like 3 or 4, you get a little lazy with this because it's harder to turn left and right. It's a little bit slower. So with 6, I can easily check my corners and still get back on topic. Notice in here, once again, I didn't go inside the room entirely, but I will move inside this dome a little bit and always check your corners left and right. It's a huge, huge thing. It's so commonly overlooked. If people just say, oh, I don't need to check my corners, and they'll be the guy camping in the corner that'll ruin your streak. Well, that could have been your next, Moab, and just because you didn't check that corner, well, bam, one more thing happened that went wrong, and it could easily get you off your streak. So always check your corners. It's just a habit, it's just like driving, you got to learn, you got to form some habits, and eventually you'll get inside the habit where whenever you enter a room, you'll just turn left and right really quick. And if you see someone, you'll be able to drop shot them, take them out. If you don't see anyone, you can just move along your day, and we won't lose that death. So it's always good, and that's one tip I can give. The next tip I can give is the pace of the game. A lot of people, they'll classify their games as rushing or as camping. Here's what I like to do in my gameplays, and once again, this is all personal opinion. I'm just trying to help you guys out. If you find something that works really different for you, definitely go for it. There I picked my Moab actually. So anyways, what I like to do is when I'm running Specialist, obviously if you're going for MOBs or these very long streaks, you want to run Specialist bonus. That way you get all the perks in the game. It's definitely beneficial in that sense. But what you want to do is start off the pace of the game a little bit slower. Whenever I start off a life, I generally do not rush the enemy team, just bum rush them. Oh, by the way, quick note: the whole other team left. I'll get on that later on. What happens when they rage quit and what to do about that. But anyways, so here the whole other team left. I'm playing one guy for a little bit, so stay tuned for that. It's a little boring. I might fast forward this a little bit if I can. But either way, whenever I start off a life, I always try to hold back a little bit, be a little bit more cautious. And the reason for this is you don't have all the perks in the game yet. When you get that special bonus, when you get those 7 kill streaks, then you should have a foundation of where you're at on the map. Another thing I'll stress is that whenever I spawn in, with the spawn system being as crazy as it is, it's very likely you're going to spawn in the middle of it, in the middle of the action, and you need to get a foundation. You need to get a spot that you can hold out at and put together your streak. There's no need to just rush in and just run around the map endlessly, mindlessly, going after anyone that you don't really know where they're at. Wait a second, wait for a UAV to go up, wait for you to get some perks first so that you got that advantage. Always good to have an advantage in a gunfight. And then, sorry about that, I got a text message. And then go in and try to rush around and get those streaks. Get those specialists after a while, but make sure that you don't bum rush the other team until you get that specialist bonus or until you get that ballistic vest, until you've got some sort of an advantage. You'll see a lot of people in Call of Duty have a 1-to-1 kill-death ratio, and that's very, very common. The main reason for that, though, is because everyone's on a very even playing field when you spawn in. Everyone's got their 3 perks. Depending on what perk you choose or gun you choose, you have an advantage or disadvantage. But the person that has the 3 kill-death, like me, I've got a 3.3 kill-death ratio this week, or I'm sorry, this month, and like a 2.8 overall. The reason I have that high of a kill-death is because I have an advantage. I've always got a ballistic vest on. I've always got these extra perks from the specialist bonus. I've got air support in the sky. I've got full teams to play with me. I've got a good connection. All these things together are very, very important. That's why I hold a better kill-death than most players. And I'm not trying to sound cocky in this gameplay. I truly am trying to give you all some advice, and I hope you take something out of it. Also, a thing I'll note is this is during double XP weekend, so I'm getting massive amounts of XP. Just one more benefit to the game of playing with full teams and having all these advantages. When I get that Moab and called in, you get double XP. You also get double weapon XP, so you rank up a lot faster. And I actually broke the XP cap this game. I got so much experience in one game that I ended up not leveling up because of it, which did kind of suck. But once again, right there, notice my screen's bloody red. I would have died there and lost my streak had I not had on a ballistic vest. So once again, one more advantage right there, and I lost the ballistic vest, so I went back and got a new one on. Next time I take lethal damage, I might still live because I have on this ballistic vest. The ballistic vest basically absorbs 2 or 3 rounds of most guns. It varies depending on what gun is shooting you, and it's a lot more in depth than that. But always have that advantage. And also notice that since I'm now on specialist bonus, and I've got a general idea of where they're going to be spawning at, I'm always watching my radar. In fact, I'm going to make a whole video on radar just later on because I think radar is a very important factor of the game that people overlook as well. But I know where they're going to be spawning at. I know where these guys are going to be at, and I've got all my perks in the game. I also have a Moab that's gone off, so they're a little disoriented from that. They're EMP'd for the rest of the round. And I've also got a ballistic vest on, so I've got a lot of extra health, all the perks in the game. I've got every advantage over them. They don't know where I am because they were EMP'd the whole time. It's things like this that really add up to make people better players. And it's not really fun for the other team. They're kind of getting stomped on. But someone has to win for someone else to lose. So for me to do this amazing, someone's got to do poorly. And there I'm already on a 50-gun kill streak. I get another few kills the next round. I want to know what y'all guys want to know, though, because I know a lot of guys are on different levels of playing. Some of you guys, you're just a basic Call of Duty player. You play it on the weekends, whatever. You don't really give a shit about these in-depth tips. Other guys, they want to know everything. They want to know what's the best tips for watching a radar, what's the best tips for playing in-game, what's the best kill streaks, guns, loadouts, custom classes, things like that. I can give you all these tips, and I love rambling on about Call of Duty. I just want to know what y'all guys want to see. So leave me down below what you want to see, what you want to see as far as tips and tricks go. I love posting these, and I feel like I've got a lot of great ideas if y'all just want to see them. So do let me know that down below. This gameplay is wrapping to a close. I ended up dying to some guy's rapid-fire SMG. And you'll see here, the reason that I died is because I got in close quarters against the wrong gun. The reason I died, I'll go ahead and tell you why, because otherwise the gameplay is going to end. I died to a PP90 with rapid fire, or a P90 with rapid fire, and I have an assault rifle. So he was in close quarters. I had a long range gun. That's why I lost that engagement. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this gameplay. As always, make sure to leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.